Now that I've finished sewing this yellow bird exactly as the teacher told me, I'm going to make some changes. This is only my second run through of this pattern, so I'm going to make some easy changes, which is just adding some color blocking, and I couldn't resist, so I did change the tail a little bit. I changed the tail to be a little more accurate to the flying eastern bluebird because it is native to our new town. I love blue, and also I thought the collection would need some blue. If you don't have a light table, do not fret. If your felt is see-through enough, you can use a nice chalk pen, which is great because then the chalk comes off really easy and doesn't leave any lines on your finished fellow. I was careful to cut all of the color block pieces a little bit slightly larger than I thought I would need so that they would nicely encapsulate all the blue felt underneath them. I basically cut the pattern exactly as I should and added the color block pieces, except of course the tail. See how it's slightly different from the last one? And yeah, I accidentally cut into this fusible stuff, but you are not going to notice that, and no one's going to see this bird from above anyway. Anyway, I did it that way so I would have something very easy to attach the color block pieces to. I lay them all out and make sure they actually mirror each other and are not copies, and then I pin them in place and get to sewing. A lot of times you do a blanket stitch on an edge to attach two pieces together, but in this case I'm using it more as an applique treatment. And if you need help, I did a handy-dandy blanket stitch tutorial just last week on my page. The blanket stitch that I did on the color block pieces, I only did on the edges that are not going to be sewed onto later because I don't want it to be bulked up by two sets of blanket stitches when I finally put the bird together. Also, the breasts and tummies and all the color block pieces onto my regular pieces until I'm at the point where I can just follow the pattern as described. You'll notice I used the colored thread on the same colored felt, and I also left a little tiny bit of an overhang so that I could catch that instead of the blue part when I sew them together. I don't want a big blue stripe going down the tummy after I've sewed it together. Once my individual pieces are good, I'm free to put them all together. Then I use the blanket stitch once again, this time to put several layers together. You can see how very multi-purpose it is. I'm hoping these blanket stitches add a little bit of depth and detail to all of the edges of this bird so that you can see it well from afar. And now that I'm sewing together the tummy, you can see just how terrible quality this felt is. Do not get your felt from Amazon, kids. And then after that is everyone's favorite part, which is, of course, stuffing it from the back. I've been through this pattern twice now, and I'm extremely comfortable with it. My color blocking proof of concept is done, and I feel like I am ready to move along. After, of course, I decide the placement of the eyes with these pins and then sew them on. These two birds are going to be the most similar looking because I need 3 more, and I am going to experiment a lot more with different colors and even by changing the sizes and shapes of the birds. And you'll see just where I'm sewing these birds onto in the full-length YouTube video that I'm about to put out. And who put this in?